Well, hello there, friends. Thanks for clicking on this video and joining in on this conversation. I hope that you'll take a moment or two to give it a thumbs up and to share it with your bestest of buds. This particular video is going to cover a few things, but in particular, it's going to be covering a comment from Luis Garza, 2036, regarding a previous video. I talked about the sprue and running your round ball between two pieces of wood and laying over that sprue. And basically the comment was loading the ball sprue down. With the ball being loaded up, would that change the aerodynamics of the ball? Well, before I answer that question directly, I just kind of want to show you, friends, the years experience that I've had with muzzleloaders. Okay, this picture right here, this is the second rendezvous I've ever walked into. And I think you can see how young I was at that time. In fact, if you look real close, that powder horn and that knife are still with me. There's the powder horn. There's the knife. Yeah, it's a little worse for wear because it's been left out in the weather multiple times. But yeah, so I've got a lot of knowledge to draw from when it comes to muzzleloaders in particular. And you know, I've got years experience doing trekking. This was a trek I did up in Wisconsin with my friend Bill and Charlie. Bill is the gentleman with the hat, Badger Bill, and Charlie One Feather. We camped like that for 3 days, just in a lean-to. Close up of my buddy Bill. And there I am, adding to my journal. So I've got the experience to answer some of these questions, okay? In fact, I was going through my journal on here recently, and I remember a deer hunt that I had in Arizona back in 1998. And the thing that stuck out most in this particular deer hunt is 2 days of solid rain. Yeah, very, very hard rain. And I was in nothing but a lean-to. That's all I was in. Yeah, I got soaked, I'm telling you. My guns got soaked. My powder, fortunately, I was able to keep dry. I did see some deer that year, but I didn't harvest one. But this is all going to lead me to being able to answer your question about sprue up, sprue down, and whether the sprue up is going to aerodynamically change, or change, you know, how the ball is going to spin down the barrel and come out the front of the barrel. And my experience has taught me the quick answer to this is no. For one thing, and in particular my flintlock, I have a 1 in 72 twist, so it means every 72 inches that round ball will have made one complete circle, which is not spinning fast enough for, in my opinion, but I'll validate that here just a little bit. But in my opinion, it's not spinning fast enough for that sprue to be thrown off aerodynamically, whether that's up or down. Now, there's also some thoughts out there too, and I totally concur, that when you load or when you cast round ball with a cold mold or colder lead, you tend to get air pockets. Well, theoretically, do those air pockets throw off the aerodynamic or the spin of that ball? It could, but once again, in a 1 inch length, that round ball is spinning quite slowly, isn't it? Now, if you have a 1 in 48, 1 in 24, yeah, you might be causing some problems with the aerodynamics. So as I talk about this, bear in mind, I'm talking about a full-length flintlock with a 1 in 72 twist, or even in my Great Plains with a 1 in 66, which is still pretty slow. Okay? Now, I can validate all of this by showing you one thing, one or two things. Look at the ends of your loading rams, okay? You will see that most of them are cupped, okay? So when you load your round ball, sprue up, this cup is designed to flatten that down however slightly or however hard you want it to be. That depends on how you load your round ball. Now, I've seen some guys over the years put down powder, put down their patch and ball, and they'll just run the ram until they feel it stop. That's it. Well, at that point, I gotta ask, are you really cupping the front of that round ball enough to change what might be bad aerodynamics of a sprue? I've showed on this channel a couple of times how I load my guns, powder and ball. I seat it, but then I bounce it. Well, when you do that, you are changing the face of your round ball, okay? And I have the proof to show this. This last deer that I killed, let me point the camera and I'll show you the rack. There's the rack right there. Okay. When I killed that deer, I was fortunate enough to recover the .54 caliber round ball. Okay, a couple of things. Under a magnifying glass, right here, you can see the cross hatchings of the patch. Okay. The interesting thing is that when I look at it with the magnifying lens that really makes things bigger, you'll see that little dot right here. I can actually see the rifling, the land-in grooves on the side of the round ball with the hatching or the threading of the patch, along with all of the cross hatching of the threading, the weave, the weft, whatever, on that patch. Okay, so I can see how it goes from cupping the round ball like this to where it changes with the rifling. Okay? But what I haven't shown yet is the front of this round ball. Fortunately, with this particular deer, it was quartering away, standing still, caught it from the shoulder, went through one of the lungs, didn't hit, I don't want to say didn't hit any bone, it nicked a shoulder bone, because you can see that on the round ball. But I was able to recover this particular round ball on the other side of the deer's shoulder. Okay? Now, I want you to take a look at the front of that round ball. You can see the dimpling. Turn it sideways. I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see the dimpling or the cupping of that ramrod. So when I load my round ball the way that I do, I am creating that dimple, the cupping of the ramrod. Now, bear in mind, there are some ramrods that only have a flat bottom. There's some ramrods out there that are not cupped. Well, in my opinion, the cupped ramrod end is the better way to go, because not only does it flatten out the sprue, but look at what it does to the round ball. It flattens out that front edge. So as this is coming out of the barrel, you're not shooting a true round ball. You've actually changed the dynamics of this round ball by cupping it like that with your ramrod. And the other thing that it causes is it causes it to mushroom just a little bit. We're not talking much, okay? But it does cup it enough so that you can see, at least I can, the rifling in the patch on the side of the round ball. So in my opinion, seating that round ball the way I do and very firmly, you're also squishing that round ball just enough so that it sits better into that rifling. I want you to think about that for just a little bit. Think about what's taking place when you load your round balls. If you load them soft and gently, like I see some people do, are you actually changing the dynamics or the aerodynamics of the round ball, as opposed to somebody like myself who makes damn sure this thing is seated tight? Because as that round ball is squishing in a little bit, it's also helping to fill the landing grooves. So, Luis Garza, I hope that answers your question somewhat. Quite honestly, up or down, it really doesn't matter to me. I like loading them up, just simply so that I can round that round ball. But at the same time, just to reiterate, you can see that I have changed the face of that round ball. So when this round ball come out of the gun, that's what it looked like. And I did nick a shoulder bone. You can kinda, I don't know how well the camera's gonna pick it up, but you can see that there's just a little bit of a nick right here and a little bit of a deformation of the lead. Let me move it around and maybe the camera will pick it up, maybe it won't. But once again, that's what that round ball looked like coming out of my barrel. So, at that point, what does that do to your aerodynamics of the round ball? Thanks for watching, and everybody have a great day. Bye.